Hello everyone, it's MTG here. Thanks for joining and watching. So, F1 Manager 2022, a game highly anticipated for, I believe, all F1 fans, and especially those with interest on managing games. So, you have your selection of a team and how the team is gonna run, from the car development to the buildings, to the times, to the drivers, and everything else in between. So I've started already with McLaren, a favorite of mine, although it only gives us sorrows and cries lately, and I have gone through the first season. More specifically, I'm one race away from finishing the season, and we're gonna go through this together. Before I start this last race, I want to show you what has happened so far. Amazingly, look on the standings. McLaren is 4th with a very healthy margin against Alpine, which is 5th. The target for the season was for 5th anyway, so we are overachieving. The board is very happy, and we'll speak more about that later. If we take the game, well, I'm sure you must have seen the home screen, some general information about the team, the drivers, the next race, the classification for teams and drivers, and then this is the calendar on what's happening over the next few days and weeks. This is the calendar itself. As you can see, we're in November, last race of the season, and that's gonna be followed by the season end festivities, the car part development, which is gonna be locked, and then seeing the board, which is nothing to worry about, considering we have overachieved for the year. Now, I was very curious to see what's going to happen at the season end. I don't know what's going to happen with the money. Our finances are good. If you can see here, we still have 11 million. The season balance is positive, and the sponsorships are valued at 95 on the main fund and $103 total. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen and how these things are going to develop going forward at the end of the season, because don't forget, we also have the car, and we're going to have to select what's going to be happening there, and if we're going to be using a different engine or what. So, don't want you to lose too much time with this. Let's go to the last race of the season and take it from there.
Island in Abu Dhabi for the Formula One Grand Prix. The Yas Marina circuit was completed in 2009, and we've seen a fair share of celebration and commiseration over the years.
I should have mentioned, the championship is
spectacular, but this weekend
nearly decided. It has been an amazing season with many ups and downs. Leclerc has been closer to Verstappen than in real life. I don't know how Ferraris managed that in the game and not in reality, but that's a different discussion. And but Verstappen is likely to get it. That's how things are looking anyway. Now, one of the tricks, I don't know if you had the chance to see my guide video, but it's always helpful, especially towards the end of the season when you're getting close to having penalties, to use secondary equipment which is a bit older for the practice. That would leave your best quality equipment available for the race. Now, this being the last race of the season, I'm not gonna bother getting a new gearbox for Ricciardo. Things are decided anyway. However, if you see here what's happening with Lando Norris, I spent too much money getting a lot of extra equipment. More than necessary actually, especially on the ERS. Nevertheless, I'm still gonna preserve his best for the race. That's the best anyway, it's the last race. Okay, so having said that, let's set the run plan to 20 laps. Again, please refer to my guides why that should be like that, and let's move to practice. Of course, we should be taking the practice until at least until we have a very high percentage set up. I'm happy to speed through it. The objective is to get 5 chevrons, get all 5 areas feedback 4, and that should allow us to bring the cars into the pits and review the feedback and make further adjustments if they're required, which being the first round of setup, yes, it will definitely be required.
The car is okay?
There we are.
Is everything okay with the car? It doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. Well, I'm sure we're gonna see quickly enough why, but I don't expect a high number. So, let's have a look on Norris then. Getting into the pits.
Okay, understood.
And now the fun starts. Tires, they're pretty worn. They are not gonna last another 20 laps. We can use another set. Okay, it's better than I thought, but still 48% nowhere near good enough to take this into a race situation. Now I wish some of them were bad, because then we know which way to go. Now, with some of them being pretty much in the middle, I have to guess. Generally going to the area where the gap is smaller, if you are on good, it would be advisable. So I'll do that. That is bad. I'll go to the furthest away, not the one that is closest, and then from there I'll play with the rest. Now, don't ask me how I know, because I don't. I'm just guesstimating what the gap should be on a good and the gap should be on a bad. But generally speaking, I would be happy to take this further. Let's see how it's gonna go. Confirm. So that will be almost 5 minutes. Let's wait for Daniel. There he is.
What do you think?
So let's get the car in.
Everything's pretty stable.
Pretty stable.
Yeah, copy that.
Okay, Daniel pit lane.
I wish Daniel was a bit more stable this
copy.
year, but everybody knows what's happening with him, so it's unfortunate. 56, so it's slightly better. And some of them are bad. One is great, very good. So tires, as I said before, change that. Let's go left. Rear wing, let's go on that side. It's only free practice one, so we'll have definitely more than enough opportunities to get things right. I'm very hopeful. Okay, perhaps one more. Let's do that. Let's stick to that and see how things go. Speed up again. As you can see, our times are not very good. I'm not bothered. They don't count for anything. What matters is qualifying and then the race. That's all. If I have spare tires, or in the case of Lando, equipment which is in good condition, I might do some fast laps on practice, but generally I won't bother. It's a waste of resources. Virtual safety car, we ignore it, we just stay true to our course. We are getting our chevrons, we're getting the feedback. There we are. Norris just done it, so he can come in and see where we stand.
There's been a crash. Sounds like a single car.
Oh, Latifi this
Here's
time.
the replay. Now we see the Williams here. Thank goodness nobody
Lost
else
it
was
on the
involved.
brakes.
That was a big crash.
Big crash. He just kept going straight. Very strange. So Lando is coming in for a second time. Let's see how better things are. 69%. That's good. Still not enough. Now tires big first. However, I'm not gonna start using tires without considering what's gonna happen the next of the sessions and eventually the race. So instead of going for 20, we're gonna slightly reduce it till we can confirm that we can run with the race with the tire that we have on. So this tire is good enough for 13 laps. I don't mind, considering there is not much time left anyway on the session, and the fact that we're gonna lose some time by adjusting all the setup. 13 laps should be more than enough. Now when the setting we have achieved is great, means we only need a very small minute adjustment from the current setting we are to go to optimal. Optimal is the ultimate. Getting to optimal will get you eventually to 100% if you get everything on optimal. Great is close but not close enough sometimes. I will explain this a bit more later, and it is something I've included on my guide anyway, but I'll repeat to you.
How's the balance?
For those that have not seen my guide yet.
Everything's pretty stable. Nice one, guys.
Okay,
Copy.
so Danny is happy. Let's see how happy he is. 4 minutes left. Okay,
turn your pit
he's
lane.
not gonna have time to do anything before the session is over, actually.
Yeah, copy that.
Let's reconfigure. I could have let him out a few more laps anyway. Yes, that's much better, 92%. We are hitting performance bonus as well. We'll speak about this in a while. So it's only traction that we need to look at. Traction is through the anti-roll distribution. That should do it, I think. And then minute changes. No, that has gone over the line. So it needs to stay there. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. And of course, although we cannot run, we need to change that parameter to allow us to confirm. So not much chance to do here. Let's wait. It's only a few more minutes. Let's have a quick lap. Go on into the second. There's no time to lose. Let's continue. Tires. Let's go hard this time. We can use or medium. I like to use different compounds. You need to use different compounds, otherwise you can have problems with how many tires you have left for the end of qualifying. And also for the race. So run plan, let's take it to 20, as we said. It's the safest bet, and let's go. Man is practice, yes, manual is the correct option for you for us. And let's
Yeah,
go.
confirm.
So, mention the performance bonus for those of you who haven't observed this yet. What is happening if you see on the right hand side of the screen the numbers against control accuracy and all the other performance parameters. The left number is what Norris actually is, and the number on the right is what he's gonna be performing us on this race based on the performance bonus he gathered because of his setup confidence the car part knowledge and the track acclimatization. Now we're gonna get track acclimatization as closer to 100, and I'm still hopeful that after free practice 3 we'll get the last remaining point on the performance bonus. So let's go simulate.
We'll be kicking off today with the final practice
and see how that's gonna go.
To the qualifying session. Drivers will need to perform with remarkable consistency if they're to secure a strong position on tomorrow's grid. It's not just about one moment of brilliance. No, they'll need to prove over the course of qualifying that they have what it takes to occupy those coveted places. Stay with us as we see who can deliver on motorsport's biggest stage.
Okay, so let's continue. Go to practice 3 and simulate. As I said, times wise we're not very concerned. Some people are getting penalties, but they're slow cars anyway. And yes, here we are, acclimatization 100% and 98%, all performance bonus points allocated, and automatically the settings were slightly improved more to 98 during the session, so that's even better. Let's continue and get ready for qualifying. Now, if you remember, we had put parts which are not the best available. We have to change them before qualifying, otherwise we're going to be stuck with them for the remaining part of the weekend, which includes the race. And in the race is what we want to have the best possible thing on. Now, granted, as I mentioned already, I didn't want to spend $1 million to get a gearbox. Up to getting into the 20s, things are getting yellow. Once they go below 20, they're going to become major and they're going to become orange. I think, being the last race, as I said, we're going to keep this gearbox and not decide to buy one now. He will have to manage with what he's got. Tires. There is 3 sets of tires for qualifying, that's excellent. Now, also 3 sets left here, very good. Car parts, let's get the best car parts available. 76% engine, very good. ERS, it is the best we have. And finally gearbox, also the best one we have available. So saying that, let's start qualifying, and I'm gonna risk it and simulate, believing we're gonna get through the first round with both cars, although Ricciardo sometimes have let us down, just like in real life. No, luckily for 35 thousandths, Ricciardo is through to round 2 of qualifying. Very good. Sorry. Don't forget that he also got the less efficient parts at the moment. Now you notice that I picked a not brand new tire. I prefer, just like in real life probably, to not have the best tire for the first run on the practice, on the qualifying. So we'll have our first run in a minute here. Yeah, these numbers are not good. Ricciardo especially is too far behind. I think Norris might have a small chance. Let's get ready for the last run. Time is coming up quick now. Let's wait for everybody else to go out and then we'll strike, hopefully. Let's see. Quick look on the times. They're doing better, but it's gonna be enough. Following Ricciardo, and he hits the wall. He loses it and hits the wall. He's definitely out. Oh my god. Yeah. Norris. No. Same.
Drivers are strapping themselves in, ready.
So let's see what's gonna happen now with Daniel's car, because I'm sure some damage has happened there. Car parts missing, of course. So front wing, let's put the best front wing we have available. We know about the gearbox. Okay, now it's strategy time. And of course now we are at the most critical phase of the weekend probably, as we have to decide the strategy that the cars are gonna be following. So quick look, let's see what tires we have available. Okay, so one brand new soft and at least one more which is barely used. So let's go and have a look, see what kind of strategy we're gonna follow. But first let's review the reports. This is the qualifying results, potential strategies, we'll talk about it in a minute, and that's the most important parameter we have to look at, the average lap time for every different type of tire. So as you can see, soft has the fastest average lap, then medium, then hard, which is what you would generally expect, but through the season that has not always been the case. In this particular situation, we'll keep it in mind when we set up the strategy that we want to follow, and let's go on with that. So there is already some strategies suggested. Of course they are not optimal, they need to be tweaked, and his information that we have for the tires always reflects the time as an estimated race time. Now again, this is something discussed in the guide, however for those who haven't seen it yet, this horizontal line here, that is the 30% wear percentage of the tires. Below that they start effectively losing time and not being as efficient generally, and let's have a look to try and explain it a bit more. So we can see that the hard tire is just below the line over here and the time is 1:25.55. If for whatever reason we want to increase the wear that we apply and try to go faster, that is gonna go to 1:25.49, but the tire is gonna be losing time and we're gonna be sitting ducks by that time because we are way below the line. So let's have a look in another strategy. It looks we might have to do 2 pit stops. Now the objective of course is the fastest time by the end of the race. That's what we are aiming for, that's what our target is, and that's what we're gonna try and achieve. However, it's always easier to achieve by having the highest number of bars here indicating how much we are pushing the target, the tire. So let's update this strategy. We have updated this strategy. And let's go to this one as well. Now this is gonna be probably the least efficient, because if you look over here, we're not fully utilizing a lot of tire capacity to go faster. for lack of better word. So sticking to this, 125.55, 125.43, that's 11 seconds faster, and that's 125.44, that's 10 seconds faster. So definitely the first one is not the one to follow. The overall time is much lower, and then again, if we try to go and push more with the tire, we are achieving the same time but with much worse tire performance at the end of the race or at the end of the stint, which makes us very vulnerable to anybody trying to overtake us, because don't forget, this is also somebody else's tire in a much better position, and anybody close to us is gonna be able to overtake. While with them other two strategies, you do get the same time with the tires being on a much better position on both of them, if anything on this one with a lot of tire wear to spare. What I would like to try as a variation to this strategy is use two mediums and one soft. Of course, we'll have to reduce the amount of speed we try to get out of each tire, and let's try to stick as close to the 30% line as we can and see what kind of time that is going to give us. That's probably right. If we update, 125.56, so it is slower, hence not the best strategy to follow. So let's start with the soft. That will give us a chance to get ahead. Let's continue with the medium. And finish off the race with the hard. Now, one of the reasons I select this is because if there is any safety car in any time during this period here, I could take the risk, pit under safety car and reduce the amount of pace that I'm getting out of the tire, however save a lot of time in the pit stop. Likewise, if there is a pit stop there, that gives me the choice to go to hard at this time and then take the medium or another soft in the end of the race, which gives me again more pace and gain the advantage of pitting under safety car, which always saves time in real life and in the game. So that's the strategy for Lando, and in my experience the strategy for the other car, that would be the most efficient one. Yes, this is the one for similar time with worse tire quality at the end of the stint, which is not what we want. This is the policy, the strategy we are talking about, although it looks like there is less wear probably for Daniel. We'll have to see. And let's have a look here. Soft. So let's move them back the way they were. Which is exactly the same. Clever me. So This one, the stops are laps 15 and 33. This one is also 15 and 33, so let's pick this one. And there is a lap difference. Perfect. Now of course we have the chance to make sure that we start pushing. It generally helps. It's easier to overtake people at the beginning of the race. People are very close with each other. It is a benefit generally and an opportunity that is better to not pass. Now fuel, I don't want to risk reducing the amount of fuel, mostly because due to our strategy we can push the tires all the way and we can push the fuel as well, and I believe it has better results generally. Let's start the race then. It's the last race of the season. The team is guaranteed 4th, so let's go and have some fun.
With the skies mostly clear, tonight's race shouldn't hold any unpleasant surprises. And there is Lando Norris. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. And behind them, it's Ricciardo. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. The race start is mere seconds away. Hold on tight, it's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go!
Let's see how the guys are gonna be doing. Come on lads, you got him. You got him.
Doing a good job.
Let's have a look.
McLaren with a great overtake.
Ricciardo is 14th now. Let's have a quick look what tires everybody else is using. Yeah, most people will be following similar strategies, I believe. Nearly made the pass, but no, he managed to avoid it for a little bit longer. Let's have a look through the AlphaTauri. It's close. It's close. Is Ricciardo gonna do it? No. No, he isn't. Still early though. We have a good strategy. We should have the opportunity to pass sooner rather than later. There we go. And he's passed. He's through. Let's have a look now if Norris is gonna follow.
Gain a position. We can take a look now. Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
Go Daniel. This might be your last race for the team anyway.
Gaining a position there. They make it look so easy.
Back to live racing then.
It's safe to say that went down well.
Team is
with
happy.
the team.
Yeah. It's only Gasly, guys. And Norris has gone through while we were watching the replays.
DRS enable, okay.
Now with DRS, Magnussen does not have DRS. He's more than a second behind the guy in front of him, so that should make it easier for us to pass him. Hopefully with the next available opportunity, or the next trade when DRS is activated. There we go. Come on. Come on. No, it's Norris passing Ricciardo. Let's have a look then. And then Norris immediately passes the Magnussen. Very good. Getting closer to the points now. Can switch to deploy. As Norris is ahead, he's not close enough to overtake. And then Ricciardo.
DRS is disabled. DRS disabled.
Okay. Yeah, confirm.
Ricciardo is still chasing. Come on, it's only Haas. You can do it, Danny. No, another lap. Let's go back to neutral. And I think I might try to save some of the fuel as well. We are minus 3.5. I don't want to go much below that. It's still early in the race, but it goes to minus 3.9. Wow. Is it gonna be this time? No. Daniel's still trying. And this time he does it. Well done. Well done. Let's go back to neutral.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
I'm not gonna select defend. I'm gonna let him get ahead. I believe he can. Let's have a look tire wise if you can see the white line is following where we would expect the tire wear to go, and that's the case for both of our drivers, so we're at a good stage with that. Don't forget we are fully pushing as fast as possible ahead. And immediately as soon as I cut the fuel rate, he's getting past.
Haas with an overtake.
Let's speed up a little bit. Things have pretty much stabilized. There is no chance of any rain, of course. We're in the middle of the desert, so we'll have to be cautious of any opportunity. And Ricciardo overtakes again.
Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
Yeah, the same straight. The same straight. Good. It was a clean pass. It was a clean pass. Norris is not getting any closer to the Alfa Romeo, but he is fighting with Alonso and Ocon. Any problem between them, I'm sure we'll be able to capitalize.
Haas with an overtake there.
Let's have a look again on the tires. Yeah, our percentage is a bit lower. We're pushing more, or as much as possible anyway. Nobody can push more than we do. Now, entering the pit window, it's pretty premature. I'm not gonna worry about that yet. We still have 53%. Let's speed up a bit more. And Norris is there now, so let's try to overtake and push and see what's gonna happen.
McLaren gain a position.
There we are. That's Ricciardo again, of course, not Norris. Norris is here. He's very close. He should be able to pass him and get us into the points. There he goes. That was quick. Well done. And let's deploy again.
That's a new race position for Haas.
And Ocon is only a short distance up ahead the road.
No DRS? No DRS for him?
No.
Yeah, confirm.
Let's wait. It's still very early in the race. They're definitely gonna pounce if there is an opportunity, so we have to wait. It's only that Ricciardo has really got further behind instead of getting further ahead.
No saving required.
Roger.
He's at the back of a small trend here from Magnussen, Gasly and himself. He needs to pick up the pace. We're down to 43%, it's getting closer. It's getting closer, everybody. Another 3 laps perhaps, including the one we are on. We have to see. We can afford to go closer to 40.
Yellow ahead.
Understood.
Daniel has been underperforming compared to Norris, just like in real life this year. Definitely needs to do something. I don't think he can convince me in the last race of the season to not get rid of him. I'm just waiting for the season to end and have a look on the game dynamics, and I don't want it to cost a lot of money, because having another year of contract on good money that he is, the money that I would give to get rid of him would be equal, if not more, than an expensive upgrade on the factory, and that would offer a lot, even for the long-term future. Now changing Ricciardo, yeah, there is a message here about being on the optimal lap for the pits, but we are using less and less of the tire, and we might consider even going soft and then soft again instead of going to the medium. Soft is faster, or go medium and then medium again. Give it a few more laps and have a think about it, but it looks like we might be able to change our strategy here, and it's definitely time to start saving some fuel. Now I think Norris might be overtaken as we are saving fuel massively, but we're coming up to pit stops. We'll have a chance to overtake later. Let's go live. And there he goes, yeah. He overtook him pretty quickly. Let's go live till the time of the pit stops. I would say it's a couple more laps for Norris
for Alfa Romeo.
and for Daniel as well. The distance between themselves is not enough. Yeah, same message for Daniel. It's not enough to have the pit stop at the same lap. So they have to have it on separate different laps. I think Norris is gonna go fast. He is ahead, he's running better, and he's using his tires a bit more, as a matter of fact. He's very close. Is he gonna overtake? No. So from where we are now, it's gonna be another full lap before the time for Norris to pit. So he's starting a new lap now. There he is. A lot of people have pitted already, and this time we're gonna go in. As I said, I would like to do a change of strategy. So we go to lap 17. If we add another 17, that would take us to 34. 33 would be the time that we change from the medium. So we definitely should have enough tire available for us to go with soft. Yes, we are overwriting the strategy and we go to soft. Let's go.
They're just struggling to really push on the tire.
Copy.
We know, Daniel, it's
So I
one more
need to
lap
look
for you.
after these tires.
Stay calm. Let's have a good pit stop. It's getting very close now. A few more turns and he's gonna go in. And off he goes. Let's go to Ricciardo now and have a look where he is on the... Yes, definitely he's passed. So now it will be his time to have his pit stop. And again we go soft to soft. We change our strategy. There is less tire wear than expected. So we're gonna try and use the fastest tire for longer.
Box confirm.
Meanwhile, Norris is very close again to guess who? Alfa Romeo. So let's try to overtake him. Now Ricciardo is having his pit stop.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Yeah, that will be Norris overtaking. So we're 11th and 17th. Having the fastest tires will give us a chance to make back some places. I want to believe that we will, in any case. Let's see what the situation is with everybody and the tire they're using. So some people have gone hard. So I guess they will be trying to do a one stop over here. But they were ahead of us anyway. The question is what people like Bottas here and Ocon are gonna switch to. Because the intervals are such that Norris is still gonna be behind Magnussen. Let's see. Let's see, and speed up a little bit and see what happens when everybody else goes to pit as well.
McLaren gain a position.
Yeah, past Tsunoda. Let's try to push, we saved enough fuel. Let's go.
We've just had a spin. Let's take a look
Let's
at the
have a
replay.
look.
Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one. And yes,
Nice.
that's where they spin out.
We won't have to worry about him chasing Norris now, so that's good news. There is the pitch coming, so Magnussen, and we thought he should stay ahead of Norris. Yeah, comfortably. No? Is there a chance? No, we overtook. Amazing. So back in 10th. That's great. expecting everybody to half pit it. Let's try to overtake Alonso. As we do everything, no fuel, and use all the ERS. Go! Now we are past.
And DRS is disabled. DRS disabled.
Perfect.
Yeah, confirm.
So P9, that's great.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Let's try to deploy whatever energy will produce here.
Energy if you need it.
Okay.
My only concern is that none of them is going to stop again. And we definitely have to do one more pit stop. We'll have to see, we seem to be having a totally different strategy than anybody else. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. We'll have to see what's going to happen in our case today. The fact is Norris is doing well. Ricciardo does not seem to be making any gain. So let's try to save some fuel.
Yeah.
We have more than enough fuel here, so that's good. And let's speed up a little bit. However, with Verstappen staying ahead, he is going to get the championship. He was very close.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
Oh no. Oh yes. So Alonso overtook Norris, but then Norris immediately passed him back. And he's still ahead of him on P9. That's great. But he needs to save some fuel himself now. So let's go conservative. Alright. Remember what I was telling you? There is a safety car coming out. In we go. Put the hard. Let's have a look.
Take a
Stroll.
closer look. So this was the Aston Martin. A definite collision there.
Totally lost it on the
Very
brakes.
unfortunate.
Unfortunately for us, there's been no safety car, but we'll see. We still have another 3-4 laps probably. Easily 4 laps to decide what we are doing. Maybe even 5. Yeah, I'm looking at these numbers here. All these people are probably gonna stop again. It's still 30 laps to do. They cannot do 30 laps with a set of hearts. Not in my eyes anyway.
Alpine just advanced.
Let's see. It's all up in there at the moment.
Struggling a little bit with rear.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, you should have pitted you.
Can we change tires?
Of course, of course. So that leaves another 28 laps for you. Let's go and have a look then. Pit options. So, undecided on what we're gonna be using. The new compound, if that's the medium, can do 31 laps, as you can see. Well, I'm moving now. So the medium can do 31 laps. And the lap time is gonna be 2 seconds less, as you can see, while the hard is only 1.8. I can do 47 laps, which would allow us to push the tire harder, get more pace out of it, and still be able to finish the laps and the race with some rubber still left on it. So definitely going on hards, keep pushing. bit too late now and pointless, but a pass is a pass. Let's try to harvest a little bit. Not harvesting.
Charge button on.
Yeah, confirm.
Get me there.
Yeah, confirm landing for lane.
Okay.
And I believe I'm gonna pit, sorry, Daniel now. His tire is getting close to the 30%. Let's have his pit stop now as well. He's far enough from Norris to not cause any problems. So yeah, let's pit them both. Same lap.
Daniel pit lane.
Copy that.
Yeah, Ricciardo's just coming into the pits. Pretty average pit stop times, 2.4, not brilliant. So Norris is out. Let's make sure we give him a bit more power and go to neutral. Likewise. Okay.
And charge button off.
Confirm.
Now we're betting some people are gonna pit here because expecting them 3 or 4 cars ahead of us to do. We should be going back to P9 hopefully. And even get close to Bottas as well on P8. Well, Bottas will not be speeding again, but Magnussen probably not as well. Nobody might, and I'm just gonna be stuck here. '13th and 16th. Not having much hope for anything else. As I said, it's the end of the year. The car has not been really developed since, well, at least half of the season. I did focus research for next year's car. I had a couple of front wings research for this year, a chassis and a rear wing, but nothing else.
Okay, gotcha.
So, a lot of research happening for next year's car, and hopefully next year's car is gonna be better, getting a better starting position for next championship. And we'll see that in the next episode probably. Let's speed up. Let's speed up because I'm curious to see how fast their tires are gonna drop in performance. I do start feeling that they're not gonna pit. They are not. Even at low 60s with 23 laps to go, they might be okay. They might be okay. Yeah, Stroll is the only other one who has a second stop, and probably that was because he had the spin in the accident. He had to change his wing. We are behind, way behind the leader. Oh, people are pitting. Encouraging. Let's hope that more will, and that will give us a chance to get further ahead. Getting very close to Gasly. Unfortunately, the fuel saving is not working. I feel very lucky I didn't try to start with less fuel.
McLaren gain a position.
Yeah, let's deploy. There we are. They did. They did. So let's deploy what we have.
No DRS. No DRS for him.
Yeah, confirm.
try to see if we can close the gap.
Use overtake.
Okay, understood.
Is Ricciardo gonna be doing anything more? Doubtful. Tsunoda speeding, that's good. So definitely gain a position there. I don't see it happening. Side spin.
Let's see what happened there. Let's have another look. Science is the focus here.
Oh,
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The car's just gone.
let's go back to neutral. Would anybody else pit? Magnussen at 61, he shouldn't have, but you never know. Bottas at 60, likewise. Those two guys are way ahead of me, so I don't expect even if they do to be anywhere near them. And it is a two pit stop race. Now Ocon 63 and Bottas 59. We are 20 seconds apart, so if he pits,
It's a spin.
there is a good chance I'll get past him. Verstappen spin, oh we missed it. So Leclerc has definitely a chance to win, but even with second Leclerc and Verstappen second and Leclerc first, he still won't have any chance for the championship. So let's go back to the tires. They might do it. They might do it. How are we doing with our intervals? Yeah, Norris is getting closer. However, he's still not saving enough fuel and I'm not gonna have enough to finish the race. I have to reserve to conserve some of my fuel. It's still -1. That is scary. It happened to me in one race. He ran out of fuel within visual distance to the line. It was heartbreaking. I raced with a strategy, he had a good position and unfortunately he stopped. Didn't even let the car roll past the line. Need to save more though. Have been trying to save for considerable part of the race and it's not so happening fast enough. Yeah, now we got enough with Ricciardo. I'm gonna let it build up a bit more before I go back to balance fuel consumption. Come on, have your pit stops, let me get through. Let me get through. Let's speed up. Fuel is coming back, but very slowly. Very slowly, to the extent that I'm start getting worried about Alonso getting closer and closer behind me. I might have to go defend here. Don't want to, but there might be no other chance. I'm not gonna race with Ricciardo.
That's a good overtake. overtake from Alpine.
Yeah, we just missed the position here. So we're on 0 on the fuel. Oh, he overtook again. Yeah, tires is not a problem. Definitely not a
Alpine
problem.
just advanced.
Daniel has a big gap to the car behind and an even bigger gap to the car in front.
Oh,
Oh
Take a look
no.
now. Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris.
Oh no.
What a spin out.
It was a tangle.
That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see.
It was a tangle, that's not fair. Magnus caused that. I would expect him to be penalized. He's now way too far ahead. Well, folks, the race is gonna finish. Those that did one stop did manage to finish a bit ahead to where you would expect them probably. Should be able to get much closer if not overtake some of them. Well, hats off to them. The season is finished. McLaren for the win. Verstappen for the championship. And we are a solid fourth as a team. I'm hoping to get much better next year. But still minus, I don't get it. He's been saving fuel all this time. That's not reasonable. We need enough for a few more turns, come on. We need to save some fuel. 0.0. Even there, stay even there, don't go minus. Oh, I won't bear to see that happen twice. Don't cross the line because of fuel. .0, here the line, there we are.
Last lap, last lap.
Last lap. Yes, of course, because the leaders have started a lap long before me. Last lap.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. Let's have a look. Look at that. Leclerc takes first place.
Without doubt, a stellar performance. Something that'll be seen as a real highlight this season.
Still minus. Unbelievable. It's a shame we get so close. On the last lap, I have no fuel to even attempt to overtake. There we are. I'm now just past the line. Thank God for that. Look at that. Look at that. So yeah, as I said, Lando gained 2 spots, Ricciardo gained 1. No points today. And got overtaken by Russell as well. He was the 6th best driver of the championship, but didn't score any points. He was overtaken by 2. So Russell just got ahead of him which leaves both our drivers, number 7 and number 8, and the team a solid 4th, just a point short of 200 points. Well, no complaints, as I said, the car has not been developed for many months now. This is the experience gain by both. Yeah, and that's Stoffel. Now, this is the money we made this race. Almost 4.5 millions. We only lost some of the guarantees. 4.5 millions, no complaints. Yeah, I tried to update the helipad just before the season finishes, hoping to get more money from the sponsors. I hope it works like that. I don't know. So let's see the messages. Yeah, the upgrade. I was scouting a few drivers as well. He's open to negotiation. He has also average growth potential just like Norris, and he has developed through the year. And Ocon is already on 86%. As I said, need to consider it more. Let's go back to the messages. Upcoming board review. Yes, we expect that. We're not going to be able to design or manufacture any new parts until next year. Well, yeah, in a difficult race. This is 2022 results. As I said, Verstappen champion despite losing the race. The difference was 16 points. He had to finish much lower than where he did, with Leclerc winning, for Leclerc to have any chance. And for the longest part of the season, Sainz was closer than what it is now, and he was with a chance. So let's go back to the part development part, which is not very favorable, because if that stops there, I have parts getting developed and delivered all through December 9, December 29th and December 6th. So it looks like once they get developed and delivered, because of this one here, I'm not gonna be able to develop any more parts. But does that mean research as well? We'll have to see. Hopefully I'll be able to research for next year's car, which is what I've been doing for a very long time. Let's continue. Sponsorship obligation, yeah, and end of season review. Let's have a look. Target position 5th, final position 4th. Yes. Long-term plans, nothing to worry at the moment, but we have 4 seasons to get ready to get the championship. Best driver position 7th. Team rating remains the same. I thought it would go up, but clearly not the case. And then finally, team rating is close to 4 out of 5. High board confidence, and there is a bonus of 1.5 million. Thank you, I guess. So that's about the board. Another sponsorship obligation, and we're in December. So, pit crew performance. That is a new thing. Let's have a look. Okay, so expect a performance drop because of lack of exercise effectively. So I'm giving them a chance to change their training focus. I have changed the training focus a couple of times through the year just to make them faster in pretty much every area, even if possible. I'm not gonna focus on the wind adjustment. Front and rear jacks were very high because I spent some time with them. What I need to spend time on would be car release. That's gonna be the lowest percentage with a significant impact. So I'm gonna leave it on car release and see how quickly we're gonna be able to raise it a bit more. Driver changes. Okay. This is a report about the drivers. Yeah, position secured until 2023. I wouldn't be so sure. And then Norris position secured until 2025. Yeah, I would be more sure about that. And of course the reserve driver, we're not going to renew Stoffel in any case. Okay, let's continue. This is the critical time to see if we can do any research now, following the message about the ban on manufacturing, but I don't think it would mean research as well. So front wing research complete. Message for regulation changes. Yeah, the cost cap is getting reduced. People voted for that. And then every team gets the same amount of CFD simulator and wind tunnel respective of their position. So sense of evening things out for the smaller teams is gone, and the teams voted for that. I don't understand how they would do that, but anyway, I voted against. And now this is the new wing. See, that's the numbers that we have improved from the previous to the current in performance, percentage, and then in downforce kilonewtons. It might not seem a lot, but our weakest area has been low speed, and that's had a pretty big increase. Medium speed we were okay, and that got the biggest increase, and high speed was our best, and we got the smallest increase. So we've been trying to focus on areas where they needed more help to get better. So research seems to be available. Still have 2 more projects going. You can see that being grayed out. We cannot do another research while the current research is not finished. So we're doing still rear wing and underfloor. I focused in areas where the rules were changing as well, so I think I'm gonna go again with front wing. It's a critical part. I'm gonna divide this by 3 because there's gonna be 3 projects running at the same time. Let's put some more wind tunnel. Wind tunnel again, I'm gonna split it to 3 pretty much evenly, and then research focus. Now I'm smiling here because that is so far the trickiest part of the process for me. I find out that if I push everything up, the numbers increase across the board, but of course if you decide to do only one area, let's say low speed, if you have a look where it is now, from 432 to 4.4 kilonewtons, if I leave only this as an area of focus, that's gonna be 4.41, while if I increase everything else, the numbers are gonna change for everything else much more than the 0.01 that it would have been by just doing downforce low speed. So I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna allocate as many engineers as I can. It was 3 available. 6-7 days. Alright, so we have to finish things by the end of the current research period, which would be the end of the month probably. So not having enough engineers and doing something which is probably a bit too difficult, it doesn't let me even start it. Okay, let's have a different approach then. There is another project finishing in 3 days. We're losing 3 days, but we have more engineers to throw at the problem, and that should be enough to finish things before the end of the month, hopefully. Rear wing done, good. Good, let's go and have a look on the message, which is gonna say us exactly the same thing. Again, good percentage increases. I'm hoping next year's car is gonna be considerably better. So let's try to research now. I haven't done any side projects for next year, so let's try that. And I'll be using all my hours because I'm gonna lose them. So I think I'm making some amazing side pods. That's almost 9, more than 9%. Wow, that's nearly 10. That's a big jump in the speed. Okay. No, still no. Yeah, give me a few minutes and I'll be back. And we are back. So, funny thing, I managed to realize what's happening here. So, by adding more hours on the CFD and the tunnel, did not seem to have any effect. What seemed to have an effect is how much you are pushing as a focus area. So by reducing the number of focus areas, it reduces the number of days that the project can be completed. Of course, I still have to get one engineer from a different project that is still running, which takes this completion date to the 30th of December, which is a day or two before the end of the period. And then, through all this, and still focusing on low speed areas where we still have more of the problems we do, took us to 21 days, 30th of December as well, which is what we can afford time-wise. And this is the 6th that I mentioned. So let's do that. Okay. Go back to calendar, see, you can see that there is one finishing 31st and another finishing on the 30th. Let's continue. Facility upgrades, hospitality area, same reason, end of year. I'm hoping to keep the sponsors happy. That way they're gonna give us even more money than last year. Of course, that means higher upkeep. It's huge difference. But then team is so much more attractive for everybody. Car part test center. Yeah, that has been a facility that I wanted to improve because it improves for a reasonable amount of money percentages on brake cooling and engine cooling, if I remember correctly. Yeah, engine cooling and brake cooling. Sponsorship obligation, probably one of the last ones for the year. This is the research we were talking about. That is the suspension. Brake cooling not a lot. Track reduction really good, and focusing on low speed, very good. And then that's the last one, underfloor. We have an merger that must be filled as soon as possible. We need to make a contact with someone immediately. We won't be able to continue the season. Oh, that's a bit different now. So we need somebody immediately. Okay. And then underflow research. This is the project that's been going for some time. Again, considerable improvements on airflow and drag reduction, and a more rounded focus on overall downforce. And we still have the scouts, of course, which are used. So a few more messages here. weather center in poor condition, forecast accuracy dropped. I will update that well into the next season. There's no point to do this now. And then the idle engineers is because the projects are finished and we can't start really anything now until January 1st. So considering we cannot go to the end of season until we get a driver, that makes me thinking that I need to decide whether to change Daniel as well, which I think I will. I have some money here saved which can go towards paying him off and paying the new one. It's things that I need to consider. We're gonna stop for now, finish with this episode. Thank you very much. Don't forget, leave your comments. Looking forward for some suggestions or any questions to answer. Have a look on my guide with some really helpful tips, some actually working tips to get your team and your cars faster forward. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.